Chapter 1. 1980s and 1990s Technology. Remembered. The 1980s. This is my earliest technology-related memory. My dad decided it would be fun to hook two computers up so that people could talk to each other over a tiny network. User 1 could type a message to User 2, and vice versa. This was a stunt that required using private bulletin board software, and one computer had to call the other with a modem. The majority of my classmates were underwhelmed by my dad's experiment. "Like this'll take off," they concluded with a shrug. By 1989, my brother, sister, and I were fierce loyalists to the Oregon Trail, which taught us the invaluable lesson that no matter how much buffalo meat a family ate, it could never make them sick. Playing the Oregon Trail was an official, teacher-sanctioned learning activity in the late 1980s. There were planned periods in our school days when the teachers would clap their hands and say, "Okay, kids, time to go to the library and play the Oregon Trail." And off we would shuffle to spend time with a game that pandered to America's most damning, over-the-top stereotypes. Rich bankers were more special than poor farmers, the game said, and Native Americans existed only to guide your wagon down the river in exchange for $5. Bullets? Those weren't dangerous. Those were your salvation. Back in the Reagan era, this was what learning was all about. The other game that was absolutely revered within our home was called Bouncing Babies. In this game, it was the player's job to move a safety net underneath the babies falling head first from a burning building, thus bouncing them to safety. This game was invented by a man. Our computer time wasn't limited to playing games, though. We sometimes used Microsoft Word to complete our homework assignments, attempting to save our progress on floppy disks. The saving part didn't often work out. In the 1980s, your relationship with the intellectual property you created on a computer was best described as a very casual fling. Every once in a while, Clippy the paperclip would bop out to try to offer his help. "Hey, looks like you're writing a letter." But Clippy always pretended to be oblivious to the fact that your computer's hardware could fail you at any time, for any reason. Nudge a computer ever so slightly while it was trying to save a file onto a disk, and your work would disappear. The 1990s. By freshman year, devices started getting portable. A couple of my classmates began carrying glamorous Motorola phones, which well-meaning helicopter parents had purchased under the guise of personal safety. Such phones were used exclusively to contact boyfriends. Other peers had use of their dad's old 10-pounder suitcase phones, which they did not ever use in public, not even in a car accident. For once in my life, I was one of the cool kids. I not only had a Palm Pilot, I carried a non-suitcase phone. My first cellular phone was a club sandwich-shaped number from the good people at Motorola, and I cared about it more than a human baby. Websites had emerged, but it was rare that they did anything, so the idea of ordering a pizza through the information superhighway was mind-blowing. This was the kind of website that made us 1990s people think to ourselves, "So at some point, everybody's gonna come on this internet thing, eh? Pretty crazy world we're living in." Then we'd pop a row or two of Snackwell's cookies into our mouths and smile, slowly killing ourselves with our fat-free, genetically modified Frankenfoods.